Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here at Heritage TV. Hanging out with Vicky. Today it's all about fashion, 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 fashion. So, I've got a renowned international fashion designer. His name is Tete Plaha, and he's clothed so many people, let's say from presidents to musicians, actors, actresses, just to mention a few. He's here with us to talk about fashion, his journey, and what he's got for us before the end of year 2020. So let me introduce you to Mr. Tete Plaha of Tete Plaha Designs. Hello, Titi.
Hello, Vicky.
Hey,
Good
how are you?
afternoon. I'm really good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. Your beard, what's happening?
Sorry. I was just telling some friends that I'm just growing it because eventually I use that as a
Yeah.
paintbrush
Mm, mm.
to do most of my paintings and my designs, but that was just a joke.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably, let's say it's laziness, but it's all right.
Good, good, good. Yes. Mr. Plaha, thank you so much for joining us here at Heritage TV, hanging out with Vicky. I know you're a very
Thank
busy
you for having
person, so
me.
we do very much appreciate your time with us today. I know you're a very talented young man, but I'm wondering
Oh, thanks.
how do you get that inspiration? How was your growing up like? Was anybody in your family into fashion that you picked from, or probably along the way you just realized you've got that gift? Can you tell us about how it all started?
Oh, interesting. I mean, from the way it started, I will say, when you realize early that you have certain challenges in respect to financial challenges, and you want to make things a bit easier for yourself, it kind of pushes you into certain areas that interestingly brings out the best in you. I mean, from I was a kid, I've been interested in art.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
drawing a lot. I did art right up to A level, But I started this fashion thing really early in my life because basically my mother was very much interested in fashion back in the 60s. And she had loads of clothes back then, and I mean 80s, by the 80s obviously the fashion trend had changed, and she wasn't using most of her clothes that she had in the 60s. She had all these bell button trousers and stuff like that. You know how much materials have gone into making of those things. So basically early 80s, she was actually giving it to dressmakers and stuff like that to undo and redo them for my brother and I, you know. So I was taking a cue from these things that they were doing that. Oh, really? So there's this possibility, So that kind of started generating my interest. So personally, being at home, I took some of her boo boos, like her really big boo boos. I made them and then developed it into my own cut and made one for myself. Initially, when I decided to try, she was like, "No, no, no, hold on, man, I don't think I get it right. So I'll get someone to come help you." By the time the tailor came home to help me, I'd already finished it with her own old Singer machine, And I mean, the tailor was like, "Yeah, that's all right. That looks okay." So that was how it all started. And at the time, I was 12 years by then, and started picking up gradually with little things like making my own pair of shorts to school and stuff like that. Initially, my schoolmates used to take the mickey out of me, and they thought it was funny. How can a 12, 13-year-old boy, yeah, 12, 13-year-old boy be making his own stuff, his own uniforms and stuff like that? But I mean, as we progressed, they realized that, look, this was actually progressing into something rather good. So they also started giving me their stuff to be making for them on my holidays and stuff like that. So I mean, basically, that's how it all started, you know.
Right.
But
Great, great, great.
until
Listen.
I actually completed A level, when it became more of a business for me, you know. But yes, I'll wait for your other questions before I say too much.
Okay, no problem. I know you know a lot of influential people, including presidents, first ladies. They've worn your clothes, musicians, actors, actresses, just to mention a few. Tell us about your experience with them. And I recently realized you even designed for what's it, Stephanie Benson and her family. Could you tell me, you clothing these presidents, first ladies, how was the experience like?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, well, it's more like I meet different people through different avenues. And the point is, fashion is in a way that if you do it right, you get the right people to actually patronize what you do, you know. Um, I've met different people through different avenues, but in respect to Stephanie recently, a brilliant woman, a lovely person to work with. You guys, the most recent. Um, she it was getting close to her birthday, and she called me and was like, "Oh, Tete, this is what I have in mind. I would love to have something done for myself and the whole family, you know, so we can have a nice photo shoot in African clothing and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll get that done for you." You know, it was a bit challenging at the beginning because I mean, between Stephanie and I, we are 100 miles away from each other, you know, and the time was pretty close as well. So, one, there wouldn't be the possibility of me having to travel 100 miles each way. That's 200 miles. I mean, to go get their measurements taken and back to make the clothing and stuff like that. So I asked her to do the measurements because I do a lot of long distance stuff over the phone. And thanks to technology these days, we use a lot like camera phones and stuff like that to actually get business going, you know. So I advised her to get me the measurements herself, and then to send me pictures of all the children that I'll be making the clothes for, because all that information sort of put the people in perspective for me. Because to design something, one, you need to consider how well it fits the person as in size, and secondly, how good it will look on the person. So the person's personality actually will count a lot in determining how you get the clothing done. I mean, for Stephanie, I know her, so that's not much of a problem. I know she's a very sophisticated, elegant woman, you know. So
Yeah.
putting something together for her that she will feel comfortable in and that she would like was a lot easier for me than her children that I haven't met at the time. But yeah, there are pictures and a few videos I saw them online sort of put things in perspective for me. It made me understand the sort of people they are. Because there's one thing making an outfit for somebody, and it's another thing
You're showing the way to
making
look at
sure
it.
that that outfit actually makes the person feel good and look good in it, you know. Because you could make something for somebody, it could be as sophisticated as whatever.
Yeah.
However, the person might not be comfortable in it because maybe the person doesn't dress like that, or it's not that sophisticated, you know. But in her case, it was much easier because I used all these avenues to get the various personalities, and then I was able to put things together to actually suit them, you know. In respect to various other people that I've dealt with, and like when I did stuff for the former president of Zimbabwe, Ken Banana, he met me at the Golden Tulip. Oh, that was years back, man. He met me at the Golden Tulip in an African outfit that he said, "Oh, I like this," you know. And you get to meet people like that, you know. Yeah, he was like, "I like this. Where did you get it from?" And I'm like, "Oh, I made it myself." He said, "Oh, really? Do you make clothes?" I said, "Yeah, I'm a fashion designer by profession." So he goes, "Yes, fine. I would like some of your stuff. I'd like to have some of your stuff. I'm like, cool. I've got a tape in the car. So got my tape out, took his measurement, went back to the shop, got him a few stuff, and that's how I went, So,
All right.
um,
Let's take some few pictures. See, especially Stephen Benson and the family in TTP Designs, just for people to have a taste of the handiwork of Tetapla Designs.
yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Right. So whilst my director is trying to sort out the pictures,
Yeah, I was just going to say these are my fashion show pictures, but not necessarily the ones from Stephanie
right.
Benson and her
Okay.
family. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
these are pictures that
Yeah, that's Stephanie
yeah,
Benson.
that's
Benson.
Stephanie
Yes, that
exactly.
was what you were talking
Now we've got
about.
Stephanie.
Yeah, yeah, looking very elegant.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow,
Yeah, that's
wow,
Natalia. This is her second daughter.
beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. And they're really lovely people to work with. They're very
That's
warm,
also another thing.
Yeah, Alex, that's Stephanie's first daughter. Great, great people.
So, do
Really,
you
really
look
lovely
at the
girls to
shape of the person or the personality of the client you are dealing with that inspires you which kind of style you should go for? Because I could see mom has a different style, daughters different styles. Is it the personality or the shape?
yeah, yeah. Well, all those actually count in determining what to make for each individual. Um, obviously when I look at the person, that in itself will sort of give me an idea of what sort of fabric will look good on this person. I look at the complexion of the person, the stature of the person. Is the person full figured or skinny or medium? There's so much that you put in perspective before you actually determine what will suit this person. So I looked at them as different individuals, and I'm like, okay, cool. I think based on their complexion, this color will flow very well with them.
Yeah.
Based on their stature, this sort of style will flow very well with them. And based on their personality, as in respect to how elegant they are, how sophisticated they are, how classy they are, this sort of style will make them feel comfortable. Because you could make styles for certain people that because they will consider the style to be a bit more elaborate or
Exactly.
a bit too elegant for them. Yeah, they will not bring it out as it's supposed to be, because they are not comfortable in them. So instead of sitting confidently in it, they are hiding in the outfit. So you always take the person's
Person.
personality and stature into consideration to determine what to make for them, and then obviously you take care of their statistics as well, because their statistics can sometimes determine what you make for each individual,
Each
because you can
individual.
see they're all different sizes. So although you're making it to fit them right, you should make it to make them look good. So if the person is like fully figured, I would not add a lot more size to the person by giving maybe like a flared or a ballooned or sort of a too much gathered sort of skirt. I would rather taper it down a bit to make the person look a lot more slimmer than the person. And if the person is slim, then I can add all those um, exaggerated bits, here and there to actually make the person look more elegant or stand out a lot better and that sort of thing. So, I mean, it depends on so many factors. That's fashion. It's just broad. So
Oh, okay.
you take
Okay.
everything in consideration when making it. Plus,
Wow. Okay.
Plus, you have to ensure that your quality is up to scratch. That's
Mm-hmm.
really key for a fashion designer as well. I mean, fashion is broad. You can look at it in so many ways. It's extremely broad. It's not just a matter of just waking up one day and saying, "Oh, I like fashion. I can make fashion." No, 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 no. You have to actually learn the details and have the passion for it to be able to derive the best, or to be able to deliver the best in it, you know.
Okay. All right. What's your typical day like as a fashion designer? What does it entail, and how do you get the inspiration? Your
Oh,
typical day.
mine's from all over. As a designer, trust me, we don't live in a vacuum. Your surroundings, everything around you sort of influences what you bring out or what you portray. I mean, my day as a fashion designer is undetermined. You can wake up any day and you wake up with an idea. What you want to do first is to drop the idea on paper. You drop the idea on paper. Now you have to look at how this idea can actually be implemented. Okay, so you sketch it, you do your fashion illustration, then you do your fashion drawing, and you do your working drawing after that. The working drawing will put all the sizes in perspective. Sort of, if I know I need a band here of 2 inches, I should actually scale the band in my drawing to determine how it's going to look when it's made. Because I mean, if you take a picture of me now in this shirt, okay, obviously the picture is going to scale every aspect of the shirt into that size. So when you are sketching as well, that's the sort of stuff you put into consideration. That's where your working drawing comes in. So you do your working drawing and then you develop your pattern for it. Because I mean, once you've done the working drawing for the outfit itself, you need to develop a pattern and ensure that this pattern will actually bring out the exact drawing that you have made. It will bring it out the way you want it. So you develop a pattern, and then you will do a toile out of the pattern. A toile is basically sort of a rough product using maybe calico or something to actually develop the attire that you want to make. First you do that onto a mannequin to ensure that, well, yeah, it's come out the right way you want to be before you actually use the actual fabric that you're going to use to make the clothes, the outfit or whatever. So it does take a lot. It's a process. It's a process, and depending on the sort of fabric you are using as well, your toile should reflect the fabric. If it's a stretchy fabric, obviously it's going to have a different flow on the individual wearing it. So your toile should be stretchy as well. If it's going to have some sort of draping in it, it's going to have flares and it's going to have circular cuts. Whatever it's going to have, all these elements should actually be reflected in your toile, before you actually sew the outfit itself. Yeah. So it's a lot. It takes a lot. Your quality as well, as I keep mentioning, is key because I mean, as a fashion designer, you cut in a niche in the industry. You need to make sure that like individuals that patronize your stuff actually respect that. Well, if they get this guy's stuff, they are going to get the quality that they deserve from buying from this individual. So that is key as well. And in determining quality, I mean, if for example I say, Vicky, I sell an outfit to you and you wear it once and the outfit fades, you ain't gonna say Tete bought the fabric from the wrong fabric producer. You're gonna say I
Exactly.
bought an outfit from Tete Plaha and it faded. So you have to do that quality test as well. Ensure that, well, the fabrics you're using are good quality fabrics. They don't run so easily. Because obviously you can't invest in producing an outfit from a specific fabric that runs so easily, and then by the time an individual or your client wears it once or twice, it's gone. They ain't going to be happy about it. So all those things are taken into consideration in making the right and appropriate outfit for each individual. You know. So,
So
like I'm saying,
that's the
fashion.
reason why you see sometimes when people complain, oh, fashion designers are too expensive. Like you're saying, if you get someone by the roadside to give you a nice design, but the material when you wash it just once, it just fades. This tells you, you can see the difference. And it's just, I think
Yeah.
the difference will not be that much. That's the mentality of a lot of people. Oh, a fashion designer is too expensive. Now, talking to me about, the terms you were using in the process from inspiration to how everything comes to life. May I ask? I know you've got the gift, you've got the talent. Did you go to a fashion school as well? Because it looks like you know your stuff too much.
Oh my God.
No, it's
I'm black,
amazing.
Victoria.
If
Don't
you
get me black.
didn't, then you are a genius.
Oh no, no, no. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the interest, yeah, the interest wasn't really early, like I said, and to be honest, I was really fortunate as well because by the time I finished sixth form, I was fortunate to be signed on by Ghana's leading fabric producer at the time. They now called Within, but it was GTP at the time, and then the name sort of transitioned into different other names, and now I think it's Within. They are called now, and like they are the leading producers of African fabrics in Ghana at the time, and they represent Blisco as well, which is like the worldwide fabric. So I kind of started my production using their fabrics basically. And obviously, these are fabrics that do have patterns in them, So I sort of mastered my craft by ensuring that because one thing I detest is seeing an outfit out there that has got patterns in it that are not properly aligned. I actually detest that. I don't want to see that. You get what I'm saying? So I sort of developed my art in um, doing most of the sales promotional shows at the time. I don't know if you do remember the opening of the Swansea Shopping Arcade where we did Sika and all those things. That was back in 1996. Don't say I'm too old. Back in 1996, and yeah, and I mean, it sort of helped my craft from the beginning in using the right sort of fabric to produce the right. And I mean, as I moved on, it got to the stage where I thought, look, um, I've read loads of fashion books, I've read loads of fashion journals, I have gone through everything. I need to actually go to a fashion school, to take it a step higher. So I went to uni after all these years. Yeah, I went back to uni and decided to do a fashion course, So I did fashion and textile designing back in Bedfordshire University. Yeah, and I graduated with my honors out there. That was in 2012. Yeah. So yes, I did pick up a lot from there as well. But I mean, considering I've had over 30 years of experience in the industry, I believe that will afford me the opportunity to pick on a whole lot, as we go along. So yes, 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 that's
Yeah.
sort of
So
my
I'm assuming,
background.
going back to uni to just brush up, you found it so easy, isn't it? Because it's in there, the experience is there. So I guess you were the
Yeah, this
top
I was a genius
of the
out
whole group.
there. No, no, it was all right. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, there was a lot that I picked up from there as well, So, yeah, although I came in with my own level of ability in the industry, I did pick up a whole lot, and I'm still learning. I still pick up a whole lot from
That's very
all
true.
around, Yeah, I mean, there's no end to learning, to be honest. I mean, I always learn new things every day. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
You know what
it is.
we were
Yeah.
talking about the quality of the
Hmm.
textiles. When I was saying, someone will go to the roadside seamstress or tailor as compared to a designer. This leads me to the question: how do you pay setters in fashion? you create your own designs, everything, and your design is shown in magazines, on the catwalks. Then the next minute, you see the seamstresses and tailors copying your designs. How do you guys feel?
Personally, I don't have any issues with that. And the reason I don't have any issues with that is the quality can never be like mine.
Okay.
You know, I see the copying all the time. I mean, it's not a problem for me. I see that. The reason is I always move ahead. Just do it and let them copy, and then keep moving forward. People keep sending it to me all the time. That, oh, someone has tried making it. And I'll tell you this rather interesting. Someone met me in Ghana recently, and the person was like, you know what? I saw one of your designs. Oh, I really liked it, but I sent it to another guy to do it for me, and he's not been able to do it. And I'm like, well, you can get me anywhere in the world, just send me a Facebook message or anything, and I'll say, oh yeah, wherever you want to be, yeah, you can get me, and I can get you stuff done. But I mean, people who attempt to copy, but it's really difficult. Yeah, it's really difficult for them to get it spot on right. you know. But I mean, they do it all the time. For me, it's not an issue, and and it will never be an issue because it's not something you can control. What you can control is what you do yourself. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. What you can control is what you do yourself. So always make sure that you've got the creative ability to always move things forward. Let them come behind you. Let them come behind you. They will never get to you. Yeah, you keep moving ahead of them all the time. Yeah. So it's not an issue at all. I see a lot of creative people as well doing their own thing. And I mean, there are those out there as well who are busy copying others and stuff like that. Yeah. But for me, it's not an issue. I mean, for me, my focus is always getting something. To be honest, I get fed up with doing old stuff. Yeah, I get fed up with doing old stuff all the time. I always want to do something. So fashion is vibrant, Fashion is it moves fast, Yeah, something you wore last year. I mean, you wouldn't like to wear it again this year. Especially the ladies, they go, "Oh, that's so last year. I want something new." You go, "Yeah." So that's what fashion is about. So yeah, let them
Yeah.
copy. It puts them behind you. Yeah, and even though fashion evolves, like it goes and comes back again, there are certain aspects of it that you will definitely uh, identify to separate it from what is actually in vogue now. If you see the vintage stuff, you can obviously tell that, look, okay, it looks like this style is back in again, but this is vintage and this is actually the new version of it. So it does happen. It's no problem at all. And sometimes we do some timeless pieces as well. I mean, I've done some outfits that you can comfortably wear today. I can visualize quite a few of them. There was one that I did for Minerva back in the late 90s, I think. Yeah, in the late 90s, there was this red press that I did for Minerva. I mean, anyone can wear it today. You know, I quite remember a few that I can comfortably say that these are timeless pieces here. I exerted a lot of energy and good work into it, and that shows. And you can still be comfortably worn today. So
I've also modeled
that's.
for you before. Years ago, I
Oh yes,
remember
why not?
making it.
I mean,
I
all.
used to model for you.
I know, I
Yeah,
know, I know, I know, I
yeah,
know,
very
I know.
beautiful
I
clothes
mean,
till date.
I, I, I can actually remember some of the clothes you wore as well on the Adinkra show in
They are
1999.
timeless.
That was, yeah, December 19. Yes, 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 yes. That was absolutely great. Yeah.
And
Of
I
course,
think
Victoria, I will know his model for me. Yeah.
you see, and I
And
think last
yeah.
year as well, I contacted you and you also made clothes for me.
Oh
for a
yes, yes, yes.
gala, and when I just entered, all the guys were looking at me like, "Wow, where does this lady come from?" And I was saying,
Uh,
the magic is Tetepla Designs.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yes, indeed. These are the sort of things that makes me happy as a designer. I mean, my
Yeah.
focus is not too much about money. I mean, yes,
Mm.
obviously, I do take money for my time, but
Uh huh. Yeah.
what I get my sort of joy from is my clients actually coming back to give a good feedback on outfits that they've worn because I enjoy seeing people looking good and feeling good, you know. So if a client gets back to me to let me know how well they were received in
Received.
places here exactly in play, I mean, I don't know, it's got some impact on me, and that's what keeps me
Exactly.
going as a fashion designer. I mean, there were times that I have had
Ah, here I
experience.
am.
And oh
In
wow, how
Tetepla
did you get
Design.
this? Oh my god! And
Oh my
yeah,
goodness. I can't even recognize myself.
oh my god, yeah, this is proper back in the 90s, isn't it? Yeah, oh
I
yes,
couldn't
oh
even
yes, oh
recognize
yes.
myself.
Oh my god, this is great. This is great. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
you see,
think I
this
had
this
modeling coaching from your brother Adiplaha as well. God bless him. Coaching us on how
yeah,
to pose for the cameras, how to catwalk.
absolutely,
That was amazing.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I did a great job with that, man. He did a great job with
exactly.
but and I mean, honestly, at the moment, he's managing most of my fashion works in Ghana at the moment. Yeah, because I kind of shuttle in two places
Mm,
currently. So yes, yeah, he's dealing with that on my behalf whilst I'm here
mm,
in the UK, and then yeah, we get
yeah.
back together again and push things ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So
See,
yes.
Mr. Plaha, do you agree that African clothes has been accepted all over the globe? How do you see the
I
trend?
will. Well, I think we still have a way to go, but to a great
Whoa,
extent, I
that's
think.
a
Oh wow, that's.
masterpiece.
Ah, I didn't know you had all these pictures. This is so interesting. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
In respect to that question, I think we've made a good stride into the
Mm,
world of fashion as Africans, and we've been really fortunate as well with the kind of expansion of social media. Like social media has actually given us the platform to market without actually relying on the mainstream media, which would have sort of been it could have held back a whole lot of
mm,
our progress. But I think social media has actually plummeted most of our stuff into the mainstream, you know.
yeah.
So it's making everybody actually identify how rich a culture and how beautiful our products are. You
Yeah.
know, these days you see a lot more people having their weddings wearing kente, you know,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and the way this kente is being portrayed in most of these pictures and videos and stuff like that makes you realize or makes you willing and more what should I say, you feel a lot more comfortable in it. You know you can associate a lot more with it. You get it. Gone were the days where there was no social media, so everything was kind of isolated in our little Ghanaian society, and there was no avenue to actually expose it to the world, to expose our beauty, to expose our culture, and to expose most of the things we do to the world. But now it's easy and available out there. So everybody can see it. So everybody can
Mm,
see the beauty of what we do, the beauty of African clothing and stuff like that. So it makes it a lot more easier for people to admire it. And we've been fortunate to have celebrities like Beyonce, who is massive, using our
exactly.
African collections. And obviously, when people see that, they will find it a lot more comfortable wearing African collection. I mean, back in I think what year was it? 1998. I was traveling on the train from Bedford. Hey, sorry, I said Bedford. From Woodford into central London. And I had my African shirt on. And these kids were actually coming from school, saw me on the train, and these are actually black kids. They saw me on the train and they thought it was funny that I was wearing an African print shirt, you
Is
know.
it?
But now, yeah, just 1998, you know. So you can see the transformation from then to now. You can see how many British brought up kids
Yeah.
are more than happy to
Yeah.
wear African clothes as compared to then, you know. So yes, we've made a good step, and I will give a lot of credits to those steps to social media, basically.
And you see, as
Yeah.
we're talking about the trend, what do you think i- the expectation of media in promoting fashion? Are they doing enough, Mr. Pla?
Well, I wouldn't say they are doing as much as they should actually be doing, you know, even in respect to bloggers in Ghana and stuff like that. I think they can do a lot more because I mean I think they are taking too much pleasure in the negativity that goes around in
Negativity, yeah.
society than than actually promoting and encouraging um, our heritage, you know, and fashion is part of that. You know, I think they can push fashion way up and way forward. Um, I I can see they are doing a lot more for even music industry than fashion. I mean, they put music like, oh, if music is at 99, fashion will be like 5% of what they promote out there, you know, and I think they can do a lot more. So, um, bloggers, press, media, I mean, electronic and whatever media, I think you guys got to do a whole lot to help promote our fashion industry and put it on the level it is supposed to be on.
You know, we had a scare, I think, was it last year? Correct me if I'm wrong. It was
Yeah.
all over the media, newspapers, everybody was talking about it. That you had a close encounter with death in the US. Tell us about
Oh,
it.
hell
How
yeah.
long ago did this happen?
It's actually, yeah, I think it's actually 3 years now, you know. Yeah,
Really?
time flies,
Time
man. Yeah,
flies.
yeah, yeah, it's actually 3 years now. Yeah,
Whoa.
it is 3 years now. Yeah, my two good friends, Andrew Martins and Gerald Thompson. Andy was getting married at the time, and Gerald was having his 40th birthday. So we decided to have a trip to Vegas. I mean, just to celebrate with Gerald and then celebrate for Andy's stag night, you know. So we spent a good time there. I mean, it was nice. Vegas is Vegas, you know. It was our first time there as well. I mean, for me, it was my first experience, and I believe that's my last experience as well because I don't intend going back there again. You know, so it was it was a good night. We've had a good time. Yeah, we've celebrated most of the days. I think we won our fifth day or something there,
Okay.
and we went to the Madley Bay. Went there in the afternoon. There was a pool party out there, so we went there, enjoying ourselves, had some good fun. So funny enough, I got really tired. Like Vegas is extremely hot as well, so I got really tired after a while. So I decided to get back to the hotel room, and our hotel was just next door from the Madley Bay. We were in the Luxor, so I got back in, and later on my mates joined. And then when they came in, just when they came in, I was sharing with James in, in one of the rooms anyway. So when James came in, knocked on my door, entered, and then we started hearing the gunshots, you know. And he was like, "Oh no, I don't think this is gunshots. I think this is just fireworks, you know." But like it was quite consistent, you know, and
Consistent.
the sound, yeah. The sound to me was a lot more scarier than what do you call it, fireworks. So
Fireworks.
I got up. Yeah, I got up, looked through the window, and that was where hell broke loose. There was a concert going on right in front of us, like right in front of the Laxo Hotel,
Okay.
in the park. And that's where we saw like the group of people sort of running. It was like very messy out there, you know, and no one could tell where the sound was coming from, but we could just hear it, and it was just ridiculous. So you could hear, so it was like a group of people just shooting all around, and we could see just one police car. So I called the other mates that I was out there with, I was like, look, I think there's something really bad going on out there. It seemed quite scary there. So we put on the TV, we put on news to see if there was anything on the news in respect to this. For the first 3 minutes, absolutely nothing. So we're like, oh, then it must not be anything. I'm like, no, 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 it's got to be something. This is just not very usual, And in America as well, they've got guns everywhere around them, so you
Yeah.
don't mess around with sounds like this, And then suddenly the news came up that there's an active shooting on the strip. And the problem is, at the time, we didn't know it was just one person. They just said it was active shooting on the street, and the police were investigating at the time. And like suddenly, so many police cars started coming in. Then they blocked the whole Vegas strip, and then the PA system went on in the hotel saying, look, everybody should be indoors. There's active shooting, and they don't know where it's coming from. They don't know who is shooting and stuff like that. And then that was the time we started panicking because we thought, well, is it going to be sort of the Mumbai thing where they are going from one hotel room to the other? And then funny enough, we started planning our escape. We're like, something, if these guys coming, they're going to kill us. So we got to fight. We are 8 boys. We are strong boys. We got to fight these guys. So let's see what we can do. Today I can sit back and laugh, but at the time it wasn't that funny at all. So we're like, something. We're going to jump and hide in the toilet. If they break in, obviously they go in. Yeah. So we all gathered in one room instead of like staying in our individual rooms. We all gathered in one room. We're like, something, we're going to stay in the toilet. If these guys come in, we are going to jump on them. Fight them if we manage to overcome it. We're talking as you know what? We're talking as if we're in some James Bond movie. But look, it was sort of a contingency plan. If this happens, this was gonna happen. Yeah, but and that was the time I put on my Facebook because we shared a lot of pictures and videos in the day, So friends and family all knew that we were at the Madly base. So immediately the news hit the headlines. I thought, oh no, let me put it on my Facebook before people start panicking,
Okay.
before friends and family start panicking, And then we had our families on the phone as well. They all called us.
Yeah.
They were like, "Are you guys safe? Is it okay?" Well, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll get there, get there. But I mean, lo and behold, he was just one loner doing his thing. He had an automatic rifle on one side and he was firing with the other on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Ridiculous guy, man. But, yeah, America's got to do something about their gun laws. But that's not a conversation I'm going to go into today. I've said more than enough.
You and your guys were safe. Yeah.
Today we're doing fashion, so yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't go any deep into
Yeah.
Steve Paddock and his horrible
So
videos.
can
Yeah.
you finally? This is I think my last but one question. Can you give
Okay.
us tips? Someone plus size person and a size 6 or 12. What tips do you have for different shapes and sizes when it comes to clothing?
Before I answer that, give me just a minute. I need to put my charger in the laptop.
Okay.
Sorry about this.
Cool. All right, no problem. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, we are live on airway. Tete Plaha, who is an international fashion designer. Um, he does a lot of African clothes and foreign designs as well.
Oh,
I
sorry
had to
about
ask
that.
him about his upbringing, how he developed his craft, and what he thinks about the acceptance of African clothing globally as compared to a couple of years ago till today. So we had a discussion about it and what he thinks, how far the African print is gone. So we have Mr. Flower with us. Yes, okay. So we take it from here then. Yes, over to
Sorry about
you.
that. The challenges of having to interview
I
someone from home.
know.
You're even lucky my children didn't jump in and start screaming. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
So the
yeah.
tips.
So you were asking about the sort of stuff you do for plus size
Yes.
ladies, and yeah, good question. Yeah. Well, basically, when I look at both sides, even the way I arrange a pattern for a plus size person will be very different from a skinnier person.
Okay.
If I take for an example a striped fabric,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm putting a striped fabric on a plus size, I will make sure that they stand vertically.
Okay.
I would never I would never put a horizontal pattern on a plus size because that exaggerates their size. And
Okay.
when I'm making things to fit for a plus size, I don't make it too tight either,
Okay.
because it brings out certain unnecessary folds, which will not bring out the elegance in that plus size person. You know, you don't also show too much skin for a plus size because obviously when people get bigger, they develop certain folds in areas that are not very glamorous to show out
Yeah.
there. So you take all these things into consideration when making for a plus size. For a much smaller person, you can go in loads of different ways. It's much more easier. Yes, but if the person is extremely skinny as well, there are certain areas that needs to be covered appropriately.
Covered up.
So when a client approaches and does want certain things, I will advise on, even if they come with their own ideas, I will advise that, look, I don't believe this will look appropriate on you as a person. Sometimes they come with something that another model is wearing, and they want that sort of
Yeah.
style developed for them. you know so to develop that style, I will advise you that, look, there are certain aspects of the style that I'm just going to eliminate because I don't think it's going to work well on you as an individual, as a person, because of these areas. And even when it comes to generalizing, like grading, like when you develop a style and you are grading from like small to an extra large, there are certain areas that you will need to tweak, as you grade, as you progress with your grading, to actually make it suitable for the plus size person. So I would say not all styles or all kinds of styles for skinny people are
Skinny people.
suitable for, yeah, plus size
Okay.
personalities as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so always factor the size and the personality
Mm.
before you actually decide on
Okay.
what to make
Okay.
for them or what you
Because
think will be
I remember
appropriate for
when
them.
you were making me that dress for the gala, you did a
Yeah,
split, and when I
yeah,
tried it on, I realized
hmm,
I think the split was a bit higher,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
because
So
of my,
I have to
I'm
bring it
plus
up.
size, I
Yeah,
was like, oh,
yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
But you are the type
Yes,
of
but
person you work with the person, the client. So when I said it's too high, you were able to just
yeah,
close it a little bit to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
level
bring it
that
to,
I
yeah, a
wanted.
desirable level.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I mean,
Very, very, very good.
for a personality like you, I could go the high because you are thick boned. You're not like
Okay,
flabby fat,
okay,
you know.
okay.
So your skin out there is not
What?
displaying certain undesirable, exactly,
Okay.
certain undesirable features that
Mm,
are
okay.
inappropriate to show, you know.
Right.
So
So
with
I will
that, and
have to
because
get
it's for
used to
an
that,
evening
isn't
as
it?
well. Yeah, yeah, certainly. I mean, because it's evening as well, it's more appropriate to go a
Exactly.
bit high, you
Mm,
know, and yeah.
okay.
But
All right.
yes,
I would like you to.
obviously, like I said, the client must feel comfortable.
Yes.
Comfortable is the key word.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Wonderful. Before you give me your final words, because definitely people like to have your contact details and possibly all your social media handles to get in touch with you
Yes,
if they want, you to make their clothes for them. I am totally into
absolutely.
it. I've put on few of your clothes, and anywhere I go, people see me differently. I mean, all eyes on me, and that makes me feel so good. Honestly, every woman wants to feel good.
Thank you, thank you. I
So
appreciate that.
yeah, 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 of course, yeah. So I know
My
people
mom
like to
used to
get in
say that a
touch.
lot, you know. And I used to take the Mickey out of her. I say, oh yeah, she wants another one.
Yeah, so definitely people like to get details from you and also all your social media handles. But
Yeah.
either you want to give us those details or finally tell us about your fundraising event happening on the 10th of October for Achimota School. So I don't know whether you want to talk about this first before you give us those details, contact details, then we wrap up the show.
Yeah, oh, I'll give you the details to start
Okay,
with. Yes,
right.
you can get me on Instagram. It's Teteplaha, just one word. You know, my Facebook is Teteplaha Designs as well. Or you can go to the Teteplaha page. The Teteplaha Designs is the business page, and then my personal page is Teteplaha. I mean, whichever of these you contact me on, I'm more than happy to answer you. I mean, I'm pretty active on social media as well. So, I mean, contact me on any of these pages, and I'll be more than happy to answer you and give you all the necessary details that you require. You know, so
Okay.
that's no problem at all.
Okay.
Yes, in terms of the fundraising for the Motown event, yes, we will be sending a lot more information. I'm working along with the 96 year group, so we will be sending a lot more information on our social media handles, especially the OA, that's the Older Chimota social media handles, outlining ways on which you could make your various contributions and stuff like that. And then I'll just like to encourage everyone to join us on the Zoom party. That's on the 10th of the 10th, 2020. Hey, did I say 2020? That's how Donald Trump says it, isn't it? 2020.
2020.
Yeah. Yeah. 2020. All right. So that's it. So look out for us, and we will share a lot more information in respect to that.
Okay.
It's been a
All right.
pleasure talking to you, Victoria.
Wonderful. Okay. So, Mr. Plaha, I'll have to leave you here. I hope we will definitely see you again another time to share some more light on how to look good, be the top of the occasion. So, and I believe that men as well can come to you for their clothing as well. It's not only about women, as you saw on some of the pictures that was shown. Yes, so it's both men and
Yeah,
women.
yeah,
Yeah,
I do more for men than women
yeah,
at the moment.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So yes.
So, yeah, on that note, thank you
Well,
so much for spending time with us. It's very much appreciated. We will definitely see you again in our studios very, very, very soon. I know you're a very busy person, but you always make time for us when we invite you to come on. So, we wish you all the
thank you
best
for having me.
with your career, and we hope to see you again very soon. Thank you so much, and take care of yourself, and regards to the family.
Thank you. You too.
Wonderful.
Goodbye.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there you are. You've learned so much. I've learned a lot. If you want that special dress for that special occasion, the place to go is Tetepla Designs. You can follow him on all social media handles. Send him a message and he'll get back to you to arrange an appointment to have you measured, discuss the fabric and the styles and everything before the dress is finally made. And I think if you want to also contact him in respect to mentoring as well, he's very happy to hear from you. On this note, we would like to say thank you for staying with us throughout the night. My hair was done by Joy Hair Studios in Thornton Heath. I appreciate you so much for making me look very good. And I also want to say thank you to the team at Heritage TV, for all the work they are doing behind the scenes. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much once again. I hope to see you again next week, Saturday. And take good care of yourself. Keep on putting on your nose mask, use your sanitizer, wash your hands, and stay safe. See you next Saturday. Take care. Love you all.